Okay, so did you just get you a LT2 intake manifold, a MSD, a Holly High Ram, a BTR Trinity? No matter what the intake manifold is, and you're trying to figure out what throttle body you should put on there, whether it's the stock one, whether it's the 95, whether it's the 103, whether it's the 112, whether it's the 115. Yeah, man, I'm breaking it all down for you guys. Well, in this video, I'm going to share with you guys which throttle body you should put on your build. Now, let's get into it. Throttle bodies. What makes this small little part here so special for us and our builds? Well, I want to share that with you guys, especially when it depends on which intake manifold you're working with. But this guy here is the coming off the Gen 5 LT1 Camaro. Same one that fits on your C7 Corvette, same one that goes on your Cadillac. So here is, yeah, here I got it here. I started off with this one because if you ride a stock, they all start with this throttle body here. But I upgraded from this very long time ago, and that is to a 91 millimeter throttle body. This one right here is an 87 millimeter throttle body. If you have a V6, it usually comes with a, I want a 79 or a 81, and you can port that out to be a 94. But that's the max you can go on the V6 platform. So if you got a V6, you can just drop off this video, and for all my V8 people, y'all can continue on. So yeah. But the throttle bodies, when we talk about different throttle bodies, it pretty much helps with your airflow and your tip in. So for this one right here, as y'all can see, like it has a nice little lip here. And that is pretty much what tells you like the circumference of the particular throttle body here. All of this right here pretty much gets shaved out. And when I decided to upgrade my stock throttle body, when I didn't have a tune, if that's what you're worried about, you can't slap these on without a tune. And the one I had was a Tony Memo ported throttle body. It was a version 1. Tony Memo, I would say, is like one of the best throttle bodies that you can get. Starting out, because whenever it's a ported stock throttle body or it's a 95 throttle body, Tony Memo is pretty much tried and true based on the airflow. Like he has data surrounding this on his throttle bodies. I haven't bought like a 103. I don't think he carries a 103. He pretty much specializes in the 87 ported out to a 91, or he goes to a 95 millimeter throttle body. His throttle body's been good. I had it on my car with a colder intake manifold, with a colder intake and a his throttle body on there. And I ran the car on a stock tune. Car didn't have no issues at all. It actually improved the throttle response. So that's why I still got this here. I don't have that particular one because I sold it with my LT2 intake manifold as a kit. And someone bought that. So I was proud there. But you can get those online, or you can go directly to their site. Link will be right here in the description, or I have it posted on the screen here if y'all want to check them out. Pretty good product. So with that, I would say if you have a stock intake manifold, the 95 mil throttle body will declare a tune a little bit. I won't go that big, but getting a ported one, that's the way to go. Now, if you go with the LT2 intake manifold, you can run with the stock one. The stock one is not a big deal. It will work just fine. But to get the best gains out of that intake manifold, the best throttle body for that would be a 95 mil throttle body with an adapter. Or you can go ahead and, I feel like there's no point in getting an adapter. And here I'll tell you why not to get an adapter. Because with the adapter, it pretty much is another plate that's behind here. And then it's like this thick. I would say like a half-inch thick. But then it pushes your throttle body out. And then that's where you feel like you're getting a full 95 millimeter gain. But I feel like you're not really getting that full 95 mil because you're still going to run across a point where you got the lip of the intake manifold. I don't have a throttle body here. I mean, an intake manifold to show you guys, but that's that. So that is one option. Or you can go ahead and port the LT2 intake manifold mouth where you don't have a, what is that? I'm drawing a blank on it. But it's like the green, I would call it, let's call it a filler. I know I'm butchering it, but it's like a filler that goes in here that seals the throttle body to the intake manifold. So you will get rid of that, and then you can put the throttle body directly on there, and that would be your 95 millimeter housing for that manifold. And that's pretty much the best you're going to get, especially with a LT2 intake manifold. That's the most maximum airflow that you're going to get. Now, as we move on up, this is where the throttle body matters, because the more airflow, the more horsepower. That's pretty much what we after. And everybody like horsepower, right? So that is why it's best to choose which the best intake manifold for your build. Or I keep saying intake manifold, to be the best throttle body for your build. So with that, we're gonna move up into like the MSD, the Holley High Ram, and the BTR Trinity intake manifolds. So with all three of those, you can get a 103 throttle body. Now, this is like the tried and true question that people always ask. Which one should we get? Should we get the Nick Williams? Should we get the K-Tech? Should we get the Solar? Well, to be the end all be all, there's a monopoly on the throttle bodies. So if you're trying to fight between a Nick Williams or a K-Tech throttle body, they are the same. Nick Williams manufactured the K-Tech throttle body, or I should say, K-Tech buy a lot of Nick Williams parts, and then they go ahead and machine their throttle body by etching in their K-Tech name on top of it, and they would go ahead and switch their blade to the lovely blue that they have. Which is nice, and it's etched on there with 103 millimeter throttle body. On the side here, I don't have it here, but on the side here, if y'all look at it, it has a little wing on here that says made, little bird on there that says made in the USA. The same one on the K-Tech one is the same one on the Nick Williams throttle body. The only difference is with Nick Williams throttle body is just bare and faced, and K-Tech you paying for that extra etch design on there and blade that they put on there. So that's where the extra money come into there. And the other one, the third one, is which I run on my car. Few people claim they have issues. I never had an issue with it, and this is like on my I'm on my third tune file, and that is the Solar Performance. Solar Performance is the next option that you have. The reason why I went with them, because I pretty much nerd out, like I said, over the 103 throttle body, but that one is ported to a 107 throttle body. Now with that one, you have to relearn it. A lot of people don't know that, but you have to relearn the throttle body, which is not a big deal. They give you instructions on how to do that. But when I had it put on my car with my brand new MSD after I took off the LT2 and put it on my MSD, I didn't have any issues. There's a lot of people that said they had dead stops in it and so forth and all that complaints, and then their tuner tell you, hey, just throw it away and go ahead and get a K-Tech one. But to me personally, I didn't have an issue with the Solar. I'm still running it today. I made good horsepower today. I made pretty much good gains coming from a 95 millimeter throttle body to a 107 millimeter throttle body ported without any issues. And yes, there is some gripes where people say, hey, you shouldn't port a 103 throttle body. And that's true. But this one, I feel like you can't tell it's ported, it looks stock, and Solar has did their work there. So with those three manifolds that I'm sharing with you guys, or there's multiple ones out there, that is pretty much like the best ones you're going to get. Most people run a K-Tech 103 throttle body because it's been tried and true. It's been out there on the market, and it's a name that they trust. Or you can go with the Nick Williams throttle body. After that, it is that 112 and 115. Those are for the guys with very, very running like high compression, where they're gonna get all the gains as possible that they need, and they getting that airflow. And that's also made by K-Tech. K-Tech is pretty much like leading the way right there. Them the only throttle bodies that I have seen, but so far those are the best throttle bodies that you can get for your build, to get the maximized horsepower for your build. And that's pretty much what everybody runs. There's no difference there. You're not going to get no bigger than the ones I have listed there. 103 is pretty much popular, and pretty much like I said, either they run a Nick Williams or they run the K-Tech. I decided to get a Solar because I want to be different and I like the design on it. Y'all drop a comment below. Let me know which throttle body you run and why. So like that, hopefully this video is helpful for you guys on which throttle body you should choose, which one is the best one. Hopefully I save some money there between the Nick Williams or the K-Tech. It really don't matter. It just get one because they're both the same. And or you can get the Solar if you want to save a little bit of money there. So that's going to wrap this video up. If you guys like this video, y'all know what to do. Hit that like button, subscribe,